Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 10 of the Lugs podcast. I am your host, AJ, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Ryan.
What's up? How about that, AJ? Number 10. What's up? Number 10.
We made it to 10, man.
How about that? Yeah, no kidding. I'm surprised. I like it. Keep it going. Let's go 10 more. Let's do it.
That's right. I mean, hell, we've had 10 episodes this season, and we started pretty late. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that we have. Hey, real quickly, I want to send my thoughts and prayers to the people affected by that mass shooting down in Texas yesterday at the church. Very sad to hear about that.
Yeah, it's amazing what our world is coming to, man. It gets crazier and crazier every week.
That it does.
So, man, it was a good weekend for me. How was it for you?
I was a great weekend. Friday, did a little relaxation. Went over to our buddy Jeff's house, hung out with him, his wife, and the two kids. Had a really nice dinner. Saturday, went to a diaper party for our buddy Riley. And ironic about this diaper party, so we're over watching college football, Michigan State. We watched a little bit of the Iowa-Ohio State game, which was a laugher if you ask me. Go Hawks. And so next thing you know, I get home from the diaper party. We were all hanging out, just enjoying a good time. Get home, and next thing you know, about 1:30, Riley, our buddy Riley, who we had the diaper party for, put in our message board that him and his girlfriend, fiance, welcomed a beautiful little baby girl into this world at 1:29 a.m.
Yeah, isn't that crazy to think about? I remember him saying in our little group chat that she was going in and whatever. I just couldn't believe it happened so quick because y'all were just over there for the party, that afternoon.
Hey, Sean has a good timing on throwing that party because he's the one that ran it. And then yesterday, after everything that fiasco happened there, Sunday I watched a little bit of the Red Zone. I went shopping with the wife, soon-to-be wife, I should say. And then just hung out, watched some TV. Mad about my fantasy teams again.
Yeah, mine didn't do too well this weekend either.
And then
it all comes down tonight.
Exactly, and then watched a little bit of the race.
Sweet, good stuff, man.
Watched the majority of the race, I would say.
Yeah, I started watching the race yesterday. I think I missed the whole first stage, and I came in midway through the second.
Yeah, you're probably playing COD, weren't you?
No, I was actually not home at the time.
Oh, nice. I thought you'd been playing COD.
No, that was most of the weekend though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just picked it up yesterday. Played a couple of games. Don't think I'm going to be playing any due to the fact that the Lions are on tonight. Go Lions. I don't think they're going to win in Lambeau, but you never know.
So, last Thursday, I participated in the My Opinion and Therefore Fact NASCAR Trivia segment on their show. If you haven't checked out their podcast, go check it out. We'll mention them again later.
No, definitely.
And
they offered me to jump on that, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, they issued you a challenge. Yeah, I had a lot of fun on it. You got to try it. It's a blast.
How'd you do?
I think I missed 3 questions.
Oh, that's not out of how many?
Out of 10.
That's not bad at all.
And the ones I missed, I mean, it was close. Where I was
really?
At. But I did do better than the pregame engineer over there on the PETM podcast.
Nice.
So I got to rub that in a little bit. And then, yeah, watched some football yesterday and Saturday. Dogs won again. Hell yeah. So all in all, it was a pretty good weekend, man.
And I tell you what, Michigan, yeah, they beat Minnesota. They should have beat Minnesota. But I love the fact that everybody's like, oh, Ohio State this, Ohio State that. They're going to go into Iowa. They're going to beat Iowa. What was the final 55-20-something Ohio State lost? So, hey, I love it. So
yeah, I don't know.
Anytime Ohio State loses, I love it.
Like I said in the group chat, ESPN will still try to justify a way to put Ohio State in the top 10.
Yeah, exactly. Which is dumb. I was telling my brother the other day, it's like they're not even going to drop outside the top 12.
No, not at all.
They should be down maybe 15 or 16 at worst. Penn State's going to drop. Penn State's going to drop like crazy.
No, and AP put them down to 11, which I was shocked about. And you're telling me
What,
they only...
Penn State?
No. Ohio State dropped from,
Ohio
what,
State?
6 to 11? Are you serious?
Really?
They lost to an unranked Iowa team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't get these rankings sometimes.
What are they going to do when Michigan goes down there and beats them?
I don't know.
What, are they going to still stay in the top 25?
They might.
don't
Ohio
get it.
State comes here this year, so
Yeah, I don't get it.
nope. It's our last home game because we go on the road to Maryland this weekend, and then following weekend it's going to be a tough game in Wisconsin. And then Wisconsin's looking pretty good. And then we play the final game of the year. Actually, it's called The Game, and it's for great reason too.
Well, we have a big game this weekend. We play Auburn Saturday. And like I was telling, my boss is a big Bulldog fan too. Like I told him today, I think if we go in to Auburn and beat Auburn, damn, man, we can give Alabama a real shot at this SEC
no
championship
kidding.
game. You know, to me, the whole season rides on this weekend.
That it does. It's going to be a good weekend of college football this weekend. That's for sure.
It's going to be a blast.
Yes, it is.
So, we had a busy weekend in racing.
That we did.
We had the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Camping World Truck Series all in action at Texas this weekend. So what do you say we jump on into some gas and go and break this thing down?
Let's go start our engines.
We start off with the Camping World Truck Series at Texas, in which Johnny Sauter gets her done, punches the ticket to Miami, and that's why I'm wearing the Johnny Sauter Championship shirt today.
Obviously, I got my Matthew Stafford jersey on for Monday Night Football, but I love the shirt, the Sauter shirt. That was a very entertaining race, especially the last 5 or 6 laps. So right there, battling for the lead.
Yeah, it was crazy because John Hunter Nemechek ran out of gas with like 30 to go or something like that.
Yeah, and then he sped on, taking off on pit road, which I knew he was going to do. And you hear the crew chief coming over the radio, "Don't speed." Next thing you know, Vince Welch on the FS1 broadcast, like, this does not get any better for John Hunter Nemechek speeding on pit road. I'm like,
yeah, but it's a penalty that really didn't hurt him because the rest of the race went caution free, and he's already way back. He's got
to win Phoenix.
He's got to have a Hail Mary here to win. And honestly, the coolest thing about this race was Austin Cindric and John Hunter Nemechek. You know, it was those two battling for a win at the end there. Not against each other, but, you know, Cindric against Sauter, and then Sauter taking the lead from John Hunter when he ran out. This is why this format works right here.
Oh, the playoff format?
The playoff format, yeah, because now you have guys pushing the limits, trying to get into victory lane because they're out of the playoffs. You know, try to play spoiler, play upset.
Exactly. And I've seen people on social media, Twitter, the Facebook pages saying that they don't like the playoff system. I like the playoff system. I mean, it's good for the sport. Like you just said, these guys are going out there, they're trying to get wins. Hey, they're pushing the fuel as long as they can. And I like it. And it makes for an entertaining race, entertaining finishes for sure.
So we're going to go back and forth today on discussing the playoff format.
Yep.
Because I'm about to take away what I just said about the playoff format when we get into Xfinity.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So it's going to be a back and forth kind of thing. And, well, anyway, with that being said, I threw down on here Happy AJ because Sauter won, so I was happy with it.
I did see that when you sent that to me through our Facebook Messenger up there, so... But yeah, so who's gonna get her done at Phoenix this weekend, and who's gonna be the Final Four at Homestead?
So your standings lie with Christopher Bell, Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, Austin Cindric, Ben Rhodes, and John Hunter Nemechek. Ben Rhodes and John Hunter being on the outside looking in. I think it stays the same.
I think so too. Unfortunately, my pick from John Hunter Nemechek. Man. Hey, he's gotten this far, so I'm pretty happy though. He's gotten this far, so I'd like to see him go all the way to the Final Four. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, he's just struggled with some bad luck this season or in this playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, his best shot was this Sunday, or this
Friday.
Last Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Yep.
So.
Yeah, they're under the lights. 8:30, Fox Sports 1 in Phoenix.
That's right. Yeah, your top five before we continue
Yeah, go
on
ahead.
here.
Go
Your
ahead.
top five was Johnny Sauter, Austin Cindric, Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, and Justin Haley rounding out the top five. It's awesome not having Cup guys in this. I'm just saying.
The race has been very entertaining for sure.
Yeah. So, with that being said, man, I missed the entire truck race Saturday or Friday.
Friday. Yeah, I caught
And-
like I said, I caught the tail end of it because we had just gotten back from hanging out over at Jeff and Amy's house. Came home and I'm like, oh, the truck race is on. I forgot about that. And then that's when I caught the finish. Which
Was
nice
it Martin's that crashed?
I'm not entirely sure. Because I caught the
forgot.
final 10 lap or 15, 20 laps.
I saw
right-
one accident. And that was it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So I missed that one completely, but we had the Xfinity Series, which I did see some of this weekend.
I think I all I know is who won the race. I missed it. Although it was a cool paint scheme on the car this weekend.
Yeah, Eric Jones goes on to lead 142 of 200 laps to win this thing.
Oh boy.
And Q Hayden Cup drivers in Xfinity Series.
Yep.
Oh well.
The few, the proud that can get in.
Yep. They're going to take advantage of it for as long as they
Mhm.
can. But yeah, Eric Jones won. No surprise that the top three drivers, I think, were all Cup guys. I'm trying to look forward here.
The results.
Yeah. Top five was Eric Jones, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Elliott Sadler, Cole Custer. So, Cup guys, top three positions, no shock at all.
Nope, not at all.
So,
Well, that's
the big story, Ryan, coming out of all this was the Brennan Gaughan Ross Chastain fight at the end of the race.
yeah, and Mr. Brennan Gaughan follows himself a little MMA there, so I think he's actually said he's been in an octagon before, doing the training and everything like that. If I was Ross Chastain, I wouldn't want to mess with him.
Hell no. You see that guy?
Oh yeah,
The dude's every bit of, what, 280, 300?
hey, he's one of the bigger guys in the Xfinity series, or in Autosport for that matter.
So they started off trading paint on the backstretch where it looked like Gaughan ran Ross Chastain down the track, I'm assuming for a prior incident in the race. And then going into four, the Ford door slammed Gaughan.
Yeah, I seen the highlights of that.
So after the race, Ross Chastain was giving an interview, and it looked like he had like a little shiner by his eye where someone had popped him.
Well, the funny thing too about it was I seen that there was a video on Facebook, and I click on it. You can't see anything. You hear the fireworks going off in the background, and all of a sudden people are screaming, and it was like a quick 10-second video, and then you see the 62 and then the 4 right there, and it's like, oh, they must have got into it.
Yeah, from what I've watched this season in Xfinity, it seems like that Ford is in a lot of people's ways, week in and week out.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
He's aggressive. There's no problem with being aggressive. But when I've seen him start being aggressive is when the leaders are approaching him and he's already a lap down and
Yeah.
he's racing them like it's the last lap of the race.
There's a time to be aggressive, and then there's a time to race.
Exactly. I mean, credit Chastain, I think, is 13th in the driver's standings.
I do believe. Let me double check right now. I got my tablet
Yeah.
right here.
So I think he's 13th.
Yeah,
as
he's
your-
13th in the points right now.
which is great. It's a young, low budget team. I think you can call them,
Oh yeah.
and he's aggressive. But you're racing the wrong guys aggressively. You got to know that there's certain guys you can race like that, and certain guys you can't. And Brennan Gaughan isn't one because he won't put up with it,
No, you're not. He'll take you. He'll take you out.
which he showed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Then there was a hard wreck that Brandon Jones was involved in with Michael
Yeah.
Annett. Michael Annett
Yeah.
looked like he turned him a little bit. I mean, accidental. But man, he slammed that wall hard.
That was one of the more hard, especially when he hit the on the backstretch coming into that inside wall. I'm just glad right now that NASCAR has done a lot of safety around these racetracks. Like the unfortunate incident with Kyle Busch when he broke his foot at Daytona. What was it? The next race they had, or prior to that, they took off all the grass, have it paved now, and with a safer barrier there.
Yeah, we actually sit right by there when we go to Daytona.
Oh, do you really? I might have to check that out. Those
Yeah,
seats.
yeah, it's all asphalt. We sit higher up so we can see the whole track. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's definitely interesting seeing, where the grass was and the improvements they made, because they still have the old cutout wall just beyond where the new wall is,
Yep.
and you could see, basically right where he had hit it.
But yeah, with the whole Brandon Jones thing, I'm glad they have the safer barriers now.
Yeah,
Back
if this were 10, 15 years ago, he might have sustained some injuries with that one, because that was a rough hit.
Oh yeah, all four wheels that were off the ground on the replay. I saw that, so that was a pretty nasty wreck.
Yeah. So we already mentioned your top 5 of the race. Man,
Not
this
shocked
is just
that they're mostly Sprint Cup guys.
Monster Cup guys.
Yeah, close.
Texas is just, I don't know. This weekend felt kind of boring to me.
Yeah, a lot of empty seats too, if you ask me. So especially yesterday. I don't know if it was because of the weather that they had. They said the temperature was in the high 80s, low 90s. I guess. Relatively warm for this time of year. I guess in Texas. I don't know. I'm not from the South. I know right now it's in the 40s here, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I wish that weather was down here. Yet we're still in the mid 80s.
Yep, lucky.
But yeah, it just felt like Texas was lacking something this weekend, I guess, for lack of a better word. Don't know if it was the dramatics. I think we might have been expecting more out of, certain rivalries that are going on, in all 3 series. But
you get the Gone and Chastain, which we just talked about.
Honestly, the Gone Chastain fight is the most overlooked entertainment of the weekend from NASCAR.
Yeah. I'm going to get into something a little bit later when we talk about the yesterday's race, which I was completely and utterly shocked by.
I don't know if I know what it is or not, but you had said something that is now coming up from other of our listeners, so we'll discuss it.
Okay.
But continuing on here, the standings going into Phoenix are Elliott Sadler, William Byron, Justin Allgaier, Brennan Poole, and on the outside looking in is Matt Tiff, Cole Custer, Daniel Hemrick, and Ryan Reed.
Yeah, I think Reed's done for. Hemrick, he may be too far out. I think it's between the top 6 are, going to get through to that next round.
Yeah, realistically, Tiff, Custer, and Hemrick all have a mathematical chance to still get in. I just don't see it happening.
I don't either.
I could see Tiff and Poole swapping, but your top 3 to me are a lock. Those 3 are in.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
So it's going to be a Junior Motorsports Final 3.
Yep, excuse me on the cough, by the way. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. And then you'd have either Poole, Tift, or Custer. So
exactly.
It's going to be a good battle at Phoenix. This is going to be a really interesting race weekend.
There's short races this weekend too.
Yeah, so. I did notice that.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the race is for Xfinity is this weekend, but I did hear it was short.
Hold on. Let me try to get it up right now. So, I'm loading it up as we speak, folks. So, hold on.
As you're loading that up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was talking about how Texas is just lacking something. Take it out of the chase. I think that would be one track I would eliminate to one race. I know how we were talking about that a couple episodes ago. I'm going to put that on my list of a track that I'd like to see only have one race.
Yeah, liking of the attendance this weekend. Like I said, I don't know if it's the weather that was there down there this weekend or what there is, but yeah, like I have to agree with you. And by the way, the Saturday race, the Xfinity race, the Ticket Galaxy 200 at Phoenix, it's going to be 3:30, and it looks like NBC.
So it's how many miles did you say it was?
It's a 200 I think kilometers is what they do at Phoenix.
Man, that is a short race.
And then the truck race is only 150.
Yeah, it's gonna be quick.
Lucas Oils.
Yeah, because I think the Cup race is what, 400?
It's a 500.
Is it a 500? Okay.
Yeah,
500.
Can-Am 500, but it's kilometers. It's like 312 laps.
Now, wow.
What? Yeah, which fly by at Phoenix.
All right, well, everyone be ready for a 2-hour race on Sunday.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'll be driving back from heading up north. Going to visit my dad, and then visit my soon-to-be in-laws for Sarah's mother's birthday.
New England plays at 7, so that'll be nice. Or 8, sorry, 8.
Oh, it's right there on Sunday Night Football.
Dun dun da 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 da.
Lions are on at 1 against the Browns on Sunday.
And I'm taking the Browns and the points.
There you go.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You should be. Shit. But, alright, so we're going to jump into the yesterday's race, correct?
Yeah, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series at Texas.
Alright.
Where Kevin, the closer, Harvick, is the winner. He's also now going to Miami.
Well, 3 of them are Truex certified that yesterday as well with his finish. So one driver for I can't do the math right now. So you got one spot between, let's see here, Keselowski, Hamlin, Blaney, Elliott, and Jimmy Johnson. So it's going to be quite a show this weekend. But here it is. It's going to be part of my rant. I was absolutely shocked. And I mean absolutely shocked. Like my mouth dropped. When Kevin Harvick caught up to the 78 machine and passed him cleanly too. I was in utter shock yesterday. I texted my brother. I'm like, Harvick just passed Truex. And my brother's like, get out of here. No way, no way. I'm like, it happened. I was in utter shock. Because this year, once that 78 gets in the lead, clean air on these 1.5-mile tracks, he's gone by 3 or 4 seconds. Something happened yet. I made the joke. I think I made the joke with you and with my brother. They're going to encumber this Harvick win. They're going to find something wrong with the car.
And like I said, we're going to talk about that a little bit later because we did have a couple of the viewer viewpoint responses come in, and they discussed the Harvick incident. So we'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you were talking about the whole Truex thing, like I said, he faltered late, getting caught up in lap traffic.
Yep.
And then in his post-race interview, he blames the 6 in lap traffic for the reasons why Harvick passed him. I'm like, man, he passed you clean.
Yeah,
it wasn't
exactly.
like you got behind someone and he just went right around you. He passed you on the high side of Texas.
Well, Sarah was dozing off because she was sitting right next to me. And I'm like, when Truex was catching up to Bane, I'm like, come on, Bane, take him out, do something. And then all of a sudden I see on the interview yesterday that Harvick is complaining about Bane always being in the way, this and that.
Truex complaining.
Truex is complaining about Bane. Guess what? Trevor Bane's won a Daytona 500.
I like Truex a lot, and we've discussed this a little bit. We actually discussed some of this last night. There's a little bit of valid point being made by Truex because there's times when I've seen the 6 kind of pull like almost like a Ross Chastain.
Oh, all right.
He kind of blocks a little bit. He drives a little wider when the leaders are behind him. But like you said, he is a Daytona 500 champion.
Exactly. You can't
He's got all the right to drive that track any way he wants to.
That he does.
And if you can't pass him, and you're in the playoffs, hey
move
man,
him.
fix
Move
something.
him. Yeah,
exactly.
move him.
Put the bumper to him. Earnhardt wouldn't have just sat there. He would have put the bumper, got him loose, get him up the track. I know that's not how Truex races. But when you're in the playoffs and you need a win to get in, well, he doesn't need a win to get in. But when you need a win to get in, you're taking that guy out of the way.
I would be doing the same thing. And I think you're going to see a lot of that happening this weekend with that final spot and the drivers that I just mentioned. If there's a chance to win, and you're Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, you're going to knock somebody out of the way to get that win. I'd say anybody, they're going to knock them out of the way.
Yeah, you're going to put the fenders to them. If they're keeping you from advancing, you're going to put a fender to them.
And I
got it right.
I was talking to Sarah yesterday, and I said this last week on the podcast with how I seen him run at Martinsville and how I seen him run yesterday. Jimmy's not making the Final Four.
Man, I don't know what is up with Jimmy because early in the race, at stage 2, he was 3 laps down, and
Yep.
I don't know what had happened because, like I said, I missed the first stage. I thought I heard them say he had a problem on pit road or something like that. He had to come
pit
down.
road, yep. Then
And
Keselowski and Kyle had problems yesterday, but Keselowski rebounded nicely.
but then there's a caution, and now you have a chance to get one of your 2 laps back that he was down at the time with the wave around, and he came in with the leaders.
Yep.
And I'm like, what is he? Do they not realize that he's 2 laps down and you are the last driver in the elimination spot?
Yeah, I have no idea.
And you had a caution like maybe 40 or 50 laps later that, you're still within your fuel window at that point.
All right, yeah. Hey, I got a scenario play out for you this weekend. Say at Phoenix this weekend, Hamlin's leading with Elliott behind him. What happens?
Put the bastard in the wall.
All right, good answer.
I mean, I don't like seeing people intentionally wreck someone, but man, he took it from you. Take it from him.
Yep, take it. Payback. So you know.
Eye for an eye. That's how I. I live.
You can say eye for an eye. But yeah, like I would do the same thing. I mean, honestly.
Now, let's play a different scenario out. Chase is leading. Jimmy Johnson's in second.
Jimmy tries to pass him clean.
I don't know, man.
He may do a little bumper, a little side draft there.
We saw how he raced Gordon at Martinsville back,
Yeah,
when they were racing.
Speaking
We saw
of,
what Kyle did to Denny at Martinsville. It is playoffs, man. There are no teammates.
Speaking of which, we were at Ollie's. I forgot to mention this during the weekend. We were at Ollie's yesterday, and they sell NASCARs or a couple of diecasts there. I got an old junior one, Jimmy Johnson, which we already have a double copy of it. So we're gonna give that to our buddy Carter. He's only 3, 4, and give that to him. Give him a nice little car to have around. But then old Jeff Gordon car.
Which ones did you get?
I can't remember exactly. They're on the top of the TV right now as we speak. Once I find or get them, I'll let you know. No,
Yeah,
I'll
for
post
sure.
a picture of them in the podcast page. But yeah, they're like $3 at the. It's called Ollie's. Nice little store we like to go to every now and again.
Is Ollie's like a big chain? I know we're getting a little off.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a
kilter
big chain, but they say their motto is good stuff cheap or something like that. Nice little motto, I guess. I mean, I got a thing of Rice Krispie treats, 28 bars. I can't. I'm not complaining about.
You like your Rice Krispies treats, that's for sure.
Heck yeah, I do. But yeah, actually, we didn't get back on the topic.
Yeah, let's get back on it here. Hey, this is Harvick's first win at Texas, which when I heard it, it kind of surprised me because I just know how well he's raced over the years at Texas.
He's always had great cars, but never been able, as you said, close the deal. But he did yesterday.
Yeah, that's for sure, and he did it at the right time too.
Yeah, I know we record on Mondays, but we get news throughout the week, and which we're going to get to in a few minutes here. I just hope they don't find something wrong with that car.
No, like I said, we're gonna get into that. That's gonna be a whole segment.
Yeah.
So, going on with some Hendrick issues. Then we had Dale Jr. have a mechanical issue.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then Chase Elliott wasn't able to qualify, so he started 34th. So what a rough weekend a little bit for Hendrick. Chase ended up finishing 8th, but it was still a rough weekend.
That it was. I don't know what's going on with that program. Like we said in the past, hopefully the 2018, the cars come out. They come out with some speed.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see next year. With the young guys coming up and Jimmy Johnson leading the program. It's going to be awesome to watch. That's going to be a fast program next year. I don't care how they're looking right now.
Yep.
I could see that team winning the championship next season.
I can do it. I can see it too. Hopefully this year too, but it's gonna. I don't know. We'll wait and see.
Jimmy's getting 8. It might not be this year, but he's going to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
It's a matter of time.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like I said, we had a nice race this weekend. I mean, for the most part, was entertaining. But like I said, I'm telling Sarah, it's like, where's all the people at? I don't know.
It was quite empty.
I don't know if ticket prices are high in Texas, like I said, the warm weather. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be down in Texas this time of year.
I think it's just hot all year around in Texas.
Right? I've noticed snow there a couple times. Dallas Thanksgiving game against Miami.
Yeah.
It snowed down there. Leon Lett went after a blocked field goal, kicked it. Miami got another shot at kicking the field goal, and they won the Thanksgiving Day game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, gonna be interesting to see here at Phoenix.
So, sticking it with the Hendrick program and the Chase Elliott Denny Hamlin feud, they got close to each other, but besides like a little bumper from Chase there, didn't even move him really. It was just more of a trying to get around him kind of thing.
It's like, hey, remember me?
Yeah, we're going
like
back to Days of Thunder. Russ Wheeler.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, remember me?
Russ Wheeler and Cole Trickle on the track, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Or Rowdy Burns.
My cousin actually met Michael Rooker, who played Rowdy Burns last weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a Walking Dead event.
Oh, very cool.
So it was pretty cool. Told her to watch that movie.
No, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy too, as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And we go down the list of some more problems. This week,
right.
Kyle Larson, man, wrecked for the third straight week. Or third straight DNF, I should say. Not wrecked for the third straight week, but didn't finish for a third straight week. What's going on?
Once they found out he was done in the playoffs, I don't know if the head's not in it right now or if it's just something with it. Maybe it's the team trying new things for next year. Who knows?
I don't want to say it seems like they're giving up, but it seems like they're giving up.
It's got that feeling.
That's a good team. That team should have won the championship this year the way they were going. Either him or Truex, but...
And I seen him win twice this year at MIS. One of the best restarts I've ever seen in person or even watching on television.
You're the good luck charm for that team, man.
Man, maybe I need to go to every race.
That's right. They wish you would right now.
Hey, rent me an RV, buy me an RV, something like that, guys. I'll travel with you. Let's go.
That's another team that'll be up there next year, though, for sure. They'll be contending. You know, who knows how long this whole Truex thing lasts for. I know last year he was strong. This year he's strong. Let's see if that transfers over to next year when a little bit less intel from JGR. You don't have a second team. I'm interested to see how next year plays out. But first we got to get through this year. And your top 5 yesterday was Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Matt Kenseth, and Brad Keselowski. Big news from Kenseth this week, which we'll get into here in a little bit.
Yep. Actually, it happened Saturday, if I remember.
Yeah, correctly. It did during, I think, practice. Your standings going into Phoenix: Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., who is in on points, doesn't have a win, but he's automatically in on points, and Brad Keselowski, who's in the last spot. So you're outside 4: Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, and Jimmy Johnson. Who's in, who's out? Or does it stay the same?
By the way, what does that tell you about the stage points right there? Truex doesn't even have a win this round, and he's already made it in. So,
yeah, it's no shock to anybody. Shoot! I forgot to mention it in the last segment about the Xfinity Series. Elliott Sadler leading points. This is where I hate the format because I don't think he's won a race this year, right?
No, he has not.
He's going to be like the Matt Kenseth who only won one race when he won the championship. He's going to be the whole fault to all of this. He's going to finish 4th at Homestead, be the highest finishing Xfinity regular, and he's going to win the championship.
But prior to the playoff systems, I remember there's times where a driver never won the race but won the title because the what's the word I'm thinking of? Accuracy of the finishes right there. And that you have to take that into consideration, which I don't mind that. But like you said, you asked me who's in, who's out this weekend at Phoenix. I'd like to see Blaney, Elliott, Jimmy get in. I'm happy with Brad staying there. I think honestly it's going to stay the same.
Yeah, at this rate I see it staying the same too. If this were, if we were still at Martinsville, I might have said maybe Jimmy's in on this, but...
Didn't both of us have Harvick out going into Homestead?
I don't know. I have my sheet over in the distance. I can't really grab it yet.
Yeah, I thought we both had him out. Which, hey, Okay, we're wrong. Hey.
We'll go over this, and after Homestead, we'll see how our predictions fared.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah,
oh
it's
boy.
not gonna look good.
We change them every week.
Yeah. I have it staying the same as well. I don't think this changes.
If anybody does, it would be Jimmy. But with the way they're running, I don't think see it happening.
Yeah, I see it being Jimmy if it's anyone as well.
But I think if Hamlin's leading and Chase is right there, or he's far back, he may pull a Matt Kenseth to Joey Logano.
I don't care if he's a lap down.
Yep. I don't either.
Next race is this Sunday, 2:30 Eastern on your local NBC channel.
I'm shocked. NBC, the final 2 races.
Yeah. Hey, it's good. It gets more viewers in.
And I think NBC is so scared with these times starting with the playoffs and not being on regular NBC because of the Sunday night football, the football night in America.
Football extravaganza.
The football extravaganzas. That's why these races, case in point yesterday, was on NBCSN. I know there's still a lot of cable companies that don't get NBCSN or Fox Sports 1 for that matter. And it's just a shame.
Yeah, I feel like these races should be nationally televised on the local channels, but...
Yep. Start them at 1 o'clock. If you're worried about it, start it at 1.
It's how NBC makes their money, though.
Oh,
it's what it boils down to is the green, man.
Oh, yeah.
So it's time to get into Tire Rub, and really, another quiet week in the sport. Not.
I was going to say, I'm looking at you in the video chat, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
2 weeks in a row where I'm like, man, we could do a whole show just on the news that happened this week.
Actually, yeah, we could.
So I've got 8 bullet points that we're going to hit on in this one. First one being Matt Kenseth will not race in 2018. In his words, it is time to do something else.
My personal opinion is no one has contacted him about a ride.
No, and I think even he said that.
I think somebody's going to contact him. You got to think, we're November? What is it, 3 more months till the Daytona 500? Which is, how does that sound? We're still racing, we're talking about next year's Daytona 500. I think somebody's going to sign him. I really do. It may be a small, out-of-market team. I think Roush may pick him up again.
Well, not so fast on that one. That's also in our news.
I don't think that person is going there. I could see it, though.
I could see Kenseth racing the restricted plate tracks. He does well there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe as what Brennan Gaughan and Elliott Sadler have been doing
in
the last couple
7?
of years. Yeah, in the 7 and 36.
I don't think Kenseth would go to do that, though.
He might, man. You never know. He could be one of those guys where people just call on him to fill in or something if something happens.
But here's my thing. What's the deal on Kurt Busch? Have we heard anything about that ride?
Yeah, there's nothing new there. But, man, I've got to tell you, how long have I been preaching this season? He's a former Cup champion, and he's not going to have a ride. It amazes me.
Oh, yeah.
But the best thing to come out of this, and I posted on the Twitter page of the show, of the podcast, was what NASCAR Chasm tweeted out. And it's a picture of the 2 old guys from the Muppets up in the balcony. Yeah. And it says, 2018, Kenseth and Biffle sit in a balcony above track at every race and do wise-ass commentary throughout the whole thing. Gold, #NASCAR. And I gotta say, I'd pay any amount you throw in front of me to see that happen. That'd be the funniest thing ever.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you would.
So, as we were talking about Roush Fenway, before we get into their driver news, they're running a special paint scheme this weekend honoring Robert Yates.
And I was getting ready to mention that to you. I saw it. I love it. Very good looking car.
Takes me back to the Davey Allison days, the Ricky Rudd days. Because Ricky Rudd drove that for a little bit. It was awesome to see.
Oh, heck yeah, it was.
Even Jamie Mack drove the 42 that looked like that for a little bit, and Juan Pablo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely classy, for sure.
Speaking of Juan Pablo Montoya, There was a race. It was myself, Jeff, and my brother were at. It's
He hit
not
a jet
even,
dryer.
No.
Oh.
It's not even 8:30, and this guy's screaming, "Juan Pablo!" non-stop, and I'm like, "Okay, dude, the race hasn't started yet. Calm down." And this guy's just screaming Juan Pablo at the top of his lungs,
Juan Pablo!
just like that. And I'm like, "Oh, we found the only Juan Pablo Montoya fan there is." Well, I mean, there's a few of them out there.
Yeah, there was. Sticking with Roush Fenway Racing, Danica Roush has been stirring up this week. I don't see it happening, and I don't think you see it happening. But apparently, there might be some weight to these rumors.
My brother said it best yesterday. What is Danica Patrick?
You honest answer?
Yes.
Hot face, good body, good for money.
Ding, ding, ding. The money aspect.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it to be disrespectful or anything.
Oh, I'm not
She has not been able to compete on any amount of level in top grade equipment with the rest of these guys out here. It's just she's not as good as what people want to defend her to be. I get it. She was great in IndyCar.
Oh, yeah, she was.
She was honestly, she only had 1-2 wins, but she
Something
was
like that.
week in, week out, leading laps, leading the race, finishing in the top 5. Here, it's a whole nother world. You can take a NASCAR driver, put him in an Indy car, and he'll compete. Put him in an F1 car, he'll compete. Put him in a drag car, he'll compete. Take any of those 3, put him in NASCAR, fish out of water.
Here's my question for you then. If Danica was in the 78 car, would that car have this success?
No.
All right, you don't think so? All right.
Throw her in any car in this field. Put her at JGR. She's not even close to the top 5. I put her 15th.
All right.
It's just I can't preach enough. It is a whole nother world. Look at Juan Pablo. His only 2 wins came on road courses.
Road course. That's where he ran good at.
It was. Because to me, he was nothing more than a glorified road ringer.
That's why I'm surprised Danica doesn't run better at, Watkins Glen or Sonoma. She runs good at Daytona and Talladega.
That she does. I mean, that's a track where you just take chance. She's not a bad driver. An auto racing driver, she's not bad. Better than most, people that try it. But she's not a NASCAR driver, a top-rated NASCAR driver. She's not elite.
But here's my thing. If she does go to Roush, who does she take over? Bain?
It had to be Bain, because it seems like they're back in Stenhouse 100%.
Add in another car?
I don't think... Can Roush afford to add another car? I mean, he can afford it, but does he have the funds to field it,
I'm sure Danica could get him sponsors.
No, yeah. Danica could bring in sponsors, or can she? Look at Aspen Dental. Look at Nature's Bakery. Look at GoDaddy.
GoDaddy.
And even the GoDaddy commercials. What did that prove to you when she was in the GoDaddy commercials?
I didn't like the one where she looked like a muscle-bound... Oh, I didn't like that one. Ugh,
Yeah.
nightmare.
She's a great ambassador for racing. She brought a lot of things over from IndyCar that's now implemented in NASCAR. She's just not a top quality driver, and that's just the plain fact of it.
We'll wait and see what happens. It's going to be... Needless to say, this is going to be one of the more looking forward to off seasons in a while.
For sure. So continuing on, NASCAR announces the 2018 start times. I mean,
Yep.
I didn't see it yet, to be honest with you. I don't think anything changed, though. I wasn't expecting it to, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
RPM will not switch to Toyota. Shocker.
Hey, no kidding. Everybody else is.
Darian Grubb was named crew chief for William Byron.
I like the move.
Good move, and I called that. I said when they brought him in for Casey Kane in the playoffs, I said that's because that's Byron's next crew chief. We have Discount Tire expanding their partnership with Penske and Brad Keselowski into Cup because Miller is cut back on their on their sponsorship for next year. They're still going to be a primary sponsor, just not for as many races. Actually, I think it was cut in half.
Really?
Yeah. So Miller renewed, but they're slowly cutting back. Kind of like I saw on Twitter, I forgot who posted it. Kind of like what Budweiser did with Harvick. They slowly started to pull away, and even with Casey Kane. So it just seems like that's what's happening this time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We had a driver move this week.
That we did.
It's still, I guess you could kind of say it's still a rumor, but it's as good as done. Eric Almirola to take over the 10 car next year for Danica Patrick.
I'm happy for Eric.
I am too.
I like the kid. He's a good kid. Good head on his shoulders. That wreck he had at Kansas, man. Oh man, I thought he was
great story this year from him.
That it was, yeah. Very good story.
I think he can compete at Stewart-Haas. I thought he was doing just fine at Richard Petty.
Well, let's find out too when he gets in that car, if it was the car or if it was the driver.
I mean, look, he showed in the Xfinity Series when he races he can compete with those guys, and you got Cup guys in there too.
Exactly.
I wonder if, like you said, I wonder if now when he gets into Stewart-Haas, he can compete a little bit. Compete for wins, not compete as a whole. Compete for wins is what I'm getting at with that.
Let's see what happens. I think he'll be fine in that car. It's a good fit for him.
Hey, who was the last Petty driver to win a race not on a road course or a rain-shortened event?
Holy cow. That's gotta be a while. I can't. Oh my. That's a good question.
I don't. When was the last Richard Petty win, or Petty Motorsports win, I should say?
Didn't Ambrose win somewhere that wasn't a restrictor plate for him? I thought.
No, but it was a road course. I thought.
I know Almirola won Daytona, because it was the rain shortened event. Even though he had a great car that weekend.
Rain shortened and restrictor plates.
I'm going to say Bobby Hamilton.
They have... Okay, see, I'm looking on the Wikipedia, and it says race victories total 27. Monster Energy NASCAR Cup 20. But it breaks it down. 13 at Evernham, 2 is Gillette Evernham, and then 5 is Richard Petty. But I'm trying to see when the last win was, or what the wins were. I can't see it here. We'll have to look that up and talk about it next week.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go off.
Did Sadler win in it?
I'm going to say Bobby Hamilton. I don't think Sadler did. It may have been a restrictor plate, though.
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, well.
Neither do I.
Wasting too much time on it. We'll discuss it again next week.
Yes. Next week. Podcast number 11.
Yeah, and that does it for news. So let's get into some social media.
Go ahead, do it.
Actually, before we get into some social media, we did have a viewer viewpoint come in this week.
Oh, do we now?
And it was from William Soku at _Wilson. And he said, the race left the question to me of whether Kevin Harvick's win was a fluke. The Toyotas just had a bad day, or was Harvick hiding something? Harvick's quarter panel did look pretty suspect. Now, last night you had said to me exactly what you said earlier in the podcast. Something's up with the Ford. This win's going to get encumbered or something. And I told you, nah. He went down pit road. They checked the lug nuts on the car. Everything looked fine. He did a burnout. Didn't crash any of the crash panels or quarter panels.
Didn't blow a tire out.
I was looking at the reference photos on Lionel Racing. Because I do that after a race win just to see what it looked like after the race and all that. Harvick's left rear fender was pushed in. The tire was shredded. And it was at that point I was like, maybe there is some weight to this argument. I don't think anything was fishy. I think he was coming on all race, and once Truex hit lap traffic, he just couldn't get around it. It was a struggling day for the Toyotas as a whole. They might have finished well in the top 5, but even Kyle Busch didn't finish. I don't even think he finished in the top 10, did he?
I don't think he did.
So you have top guys that are finishing in the back, i.e., Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, these guys. I just think it was a bad day for Toyota, but I know you have a different opinion than I do on this.
I hate saying it. I really do. I think, we're recording this on Monday, but I think NASCAR's going to find something wrong with it Wednesday. Or even tomorrow for that, or Tuesday.
Yeah, because announcements would come out tomorrow.
Yep. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But
I hope you are too.
I just... Because with as quickly as he caught him, and like we said earlier in the show, how the 78 whenever
he pulled away too.
Lead, yeah, he pulled away big time too. And this is something that they're going to have to look into next year. These encumbered wins. Take the win away. Yeah. How about this? Take the win away. This would be a part of my rant segment right here. Here's a good time for a rant. Ryan's rant brought to you in part by Detroit Lions football. And I did a little thumbs up too, folks. So, they need to do something more about these, by the way. These encumbered wins. Just take the wins away. If the guy finishes in second place, his card checks out fine, give the win to that driver right there.
Yeah.
Honestly, who did we... Truex finished in second. He's already into the championship 4 anyway. But guess what? That would have been a win for him right there. As much as I hated saying it like that, it's something's got to be done because everybody's like, even Tom Bodine has said it. I think we've mentioned this a couple times. What's encumbered mean anyway?
Yeah, I've said that encumbered wins need to mean more. I mean, they meant a lot this year with Joey Logano being out of the playoffs essentially because of it. But
yep.
More as in, like you said, take the win away.
Exactly.
Don't give these guys a slap on the wrist.
Exactly.
You want to make a statement, that's how you make it.
All the shops, too, are based in North Carolina, except for Furniture Row Racing. Fox Sports 1 does NASCAR Race Hub. Send a crew member, a reporter, over to the race shop and be like, hey, congratulations, you won the race because the 42 car had an unimproved adjustment and we took the win away. Or the lug nuts weren't all tightened. Or
do it right at the track.
Yeah, do something like that.
You know, you already take the first, the top 3 cars and back to the race shop, or back to R&D. Just leave them there at the track.
Exactly. See what happens. Get that done early, too.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. So, thank you, William, for the input there on the Harvick situation.
I hope I'm wrong, though. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong, but...
I hope so, too, because this is...
We wait and see.
Besides Toyota, there's only been 2 Fords to break up the Toyota run here in the playoffs, so...
Yep.
Chevy's lacking something. I don't know what it is. It's just they're behind the 8 balls by a lot. Besides Chase Elliott, name me another consistent Chevy guy week in, week out.
All I hear is crickets right now because that's it.
Really, I mean, Chase has to feel real weird. He's on like his own little island, surrounded by Toyotas and Fords. Come Sunday.
Yes, What about that island though? It's like, hey guys, hello. Yeah. I'm not the only one in the playoffs. Come on, guys.
So let's get to some social media. We are at 182 downloads on Podbean and iTunes, which means we are close to 200, which is something that's crazy to me.
Very crazy. I'm enjoying it though, hearing this. So I like that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you everybody who's come along for this journey. We have 61 followers on Twitter, 56 likes on Facebook, 7 subscribers on YouTube, which, I must say, we had the most views this week on our podcast, which is uploaded to YouTube, which is awesome to see.
Very nice.
We got some shout-outs this week.
Shout out.
The Final Lap Weekly followed us at The Final Lap. We had Glenn McGee follow us at Racer McGee. And I sent a screenshot to this to you on Saturday because I thought it was hilarious when I saw it. We got followed by Speed Crate this weekend.
Really? Nice.
Which Speed Crate is It's kind of like Dollar Shave Club. You pay a monthly fee, and they send you, I think it's shirts, hats, flags, a bunch of different merchandise. It's like a Loot Crate is basically what it is.
Wow, cool.
So, that's pretty cool. I've checked it out a couple times, even before they had followed us. So, we got our podcast shout-outs this week. We got the Lap Traffic Podcast at Lap Traffic PC. We got the PTM Racing Podcast at PTM Podcast. We got the My Opinion Therefore Fact Podcast at MOATF Podcast. Brian, let them know if you want to be on that. It'd be awesome for us to go head-to-head.
Oh, let's do it, AJ. Oh, man, you are... Oh boy. Let's do it.
Make sure you message them after the show and get on that.
Definitely
We have the Bump and Run Podcast at the BNR Podcast. We have All Turns No Breaks at Turns No Breaks. And new this week, the Final Lap Weekly at the Final Lap. Thank you all for the follows, for the mentions, all that.
Thank you very much, guys.
The downloads, subscriptions, the ratings. You can follow us on iTunes and Podbean, or subscribe to us, I should say, at the Loose Lugs Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Lugs Podcast. Tweet about the show using the hashtag AskLugs. You can like us on Facebook, which we need to get more people on the Facebook page. I need to start posting more on that.
Yes,
at
we do.
the Loose Lugs Podcast. YouTube, we are also the Loose Lugs Podcast. And my personal is Greg Goose F150. And Ryan, if you want to let them know yours.
Rencola 88.
All right, and with that being said, we've done the rant. It's prediction time.
Speaking of which, AJ, I've been getting a lot of questions asked to me, not only from a couple people on social media here or there, you or yourself, my dad, my brother, even Sarah's like, who are you going to cheer for next year? And I've got a couple of guys I got in mind. Obviously, I still like Brad.
Oh, are you about to say somebody?
Yes, I am.
Here's the drum roll.
I think it's time to let the cat out of the bag. It's got to be William Byron.
Ryan Rencola going to William Byron. I like the move.
Yep, on the William Byron train.
Because like I told you, I'm a 24 and... Well, I'm a 9 first, 24 second fan next year.
And I'll still cheer for the 88 car next year, Alex Bowman. I don't mind the kid at all. So, but like I said, it's Larson. I like Larson a lot too. There's a lot of guys, but the main man's going to be Byron.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It was between him and Larson, but there's a rumor going around that Larson may not get a contract, and then there's an organization out there that's looking for him, and it's like, don't go there.
Yeah,
so,
it'd be hard to see. Let's get to the white flag, Ryan.
Let's
get to some predictions.
Predictions this week.
I think last week you won because Chippy Johnson and Jr. finished back.
Yeah, they didn't do too good. And who did I have? The 78?
I think you had the 78 who finished second. But this week it's my turn to go first. And I'm picking Mr. 7-time Chasing 8. Jimmy Johnson is my winner this weekend.
All right. And then who's your dark horse there?
My dark horse, 21 of Ryan Blaney.
All right. You got the dark horse right there. I am going to pick a playoff guy. And I'm going to go with... Let's go with... Let's do Keselowski. And then my dark horse will be Chase Elliott.
That's a good dark horse. I just picked him so many weeks in a row now that I'm steering away from it.
Well, here's the thing. If, Hendrick, they're all together. Why not use the 88 car that was Alex Bowman ran last year? Give it to one of these other Hendrick guys and see what they can do with the car, especially right now in the hey, win and make it to the final race.
I gotta say, I can't wait for Bowman to get into the car at Phoenix again next year.
I can't either.
I want to see if it was just a fluke or he can actually drive well.
Exactly. We'll find out. So
yeah.
Here's my thing. Did they say how the final race is gonna run?
What do you mean?
If they're doing it like the I know they're gonna do the stage points and everything like that. Are they gonna go by the points?
I think it's just by finisher.
It's just gonna be by finish.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. I'll have to check out Race Hub and NASCAR in America.
Well, I mean, it would have to, because even if you win the race, you get more points than you would for getting stage points, so...
I think stage points have to gotta do. Say none of those guys win it though. That's my thing though.
Just have a 3-lap shootout at the end. All the stage winners, winner of the race, and then you have there's how you crown your winner.
That'd be kind of cool to see.
Coming next year, I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
So this weekend at Phoenix should be fun.
That'd be a great race. I love that track too. Especially we're going to see the upgrades that they've been making out at the Phoenix International Raceway.
Yeah,
Seeing a lot on their Facebook page, they had some season ticket holders. They just put up a beam, so which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool that they're getting the fans involved.
Yeah, putting up a beam. Let's go.
So with that being said, we're gonna get out of here. Ryan's got a Monday Night Football game to watch. So Ryan, why don't you hit him with it?
First of all, let's go Lions. I don't think we're gonna win in Green Bay. We're 1-25 since 1992. Although we've won there recently. By the way, guys, we'll see you guys at the track. Hope everybody has a good race week and a great week.
Go Dogs, beat Auburn. Enjoy the race weekend.